Hi guys, welcome to my stream or the recording of my stream. Today I'm going to code the first day of Advent of Code 2018 by using test-driven development in the most strict form. So let's get into it. I'm going to use Python with a bit of my framework for Advent of Code that I developed during the last 2 years. This is 2016. The ones with 2 in the front are 2017. So now I'm going to do third year of Advent of Code. I'm not that much active. I solved like 9 problems or 8 problems. This is not solved yet, but it's here. So this is going to be my third year. I'm going to copy this template and it's going to be called day 301. Let's do it. And now I can run my tests and it should pass because the day 301 also have some tests that are copied from the template. So everything is okay, and I'm going to push it year 2018 day 1 copied template, commit and push. Yeah, code analysis, because I have some to-dos there that should be implemented. I'm going to commit and push. Yes, push please. And I also have Travis CI. So everything that I push into my repository is being committed, push successful. So new build should be triggered right now. Maybe. Yes. So I should be getting an acknowledgement about my test status. One viewer. Cheers to one viewer. Welcome here. If you have some questions or anything, I have a chat opened on my mobile phone and I'm looking at it right now, so you can post some questions or anything. So the thing is, we get this kind of input, like positive and negative numbers, and we are supposed to... Hi, ciao Lupato, vítej. And we are supposed to sum them into one number and give it as an output. So those are some examples. And now this is the input file that I should calculate. Oh, okay. That I should calculate the output for. So I'm going to copy it. Copy the main input file and put it here. Why are you streaming in English? Because I'd like to take this video and put it on YouTube, and there are not that many programming passion people in Czech Republic. I can say Czechia now. So I'm going to create it in English to make my audience broader. But I guess the Czech people who would enjoy this type of content also can understand my English, so that's why English. Input copied, commit and push. So that's it. And now I have this day calculator test. So this is some kind of acceptance tests. So I can copy this and I say I want to start with the most degenerate example, and the most degenerate example would be day calculator with empty input, and day calculator with empty input should return 0 in part 1. I wanted to try join to Ludum there, but I don't have Dana on internet. I don't know what you want to say. I wanted to do Ludum Dare too this time, but there is not enough time for whole weekend data on internet. Okay. So test empty input gives 0 result, and I can test it and it should pass, but I don't want it to pass, so I'm going to go into the day calculator, and day calculator, yeah, it just creates solver. So solver, I want solver to return 1 or -1, for example, just to see the test to fail. Yes. So 0 was expected and actual is -1. That's what I wanted. And now I'm going to make it pass with returning 0. I spent 2070 data from 300 gigabyte in mouth. You mean month, I guess. 300 gigabytes in month. You have to watch Twitch and YouTube and download a buttload of movies via mobile data. I'm perfectly okay with 500 megabytes per month, and I guess I use like 60 megabytes per month. Okay, so if I now return 0, it should pass. Yes, it does. So the other acceptance tests may be those ones. Or those ones, maybe. The question is, are those I work in home? Okay. Therefore, it does make sense, but still, mobile data wouldn't be more suitable to have like how do you say it? The non-mobile case. We'll see. Let's okay, I can definitely commit this. No mobile data, normal in Wi-Fi router. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't need mobile data when you are at home, right? Or we have FOOP on your Wi-Fi router. So this is first acceptance test and commit and push. Or I should run all the tests just in case. Yeah, everything passes. That's cool. So commit and push. Yes, please. Foop. Okay. So now I can create the acceptance tests and ignore them for a second. So I'm going to give there this. And it's test example 1, and it should return 3. And I have like 3 more there, so 2, 3, 4. So this one results in 3. This one results in 0. And this one results in -6. Now I guess I can just replace comma and space with new line. Right? And now all those should fail, which is great. Yeah, this one passes because it's just 0 and it every time returns 0. So I'm going to pytest mark skip, right? Is it right? Is it correct? Yes. So now it's skipped. I can add some to-do mark here. So this is just some basic examples that I need, that they should work. And also skip those ones because they will not work once I start to work on the calculator. So everything works perfect. Edit acceptance tests, commit and push. Yes, please. I'm perfectly okay with committed to-dos at this point. Are there any viewers? 4 viewers. Cheers to 4 viewers. It's great to have you here. If you have anything to comment, feel free to type in the chat. I read the chat pretty regularly. That's the most difficult English word in the world. Regularly, just not to pronounce the R at the end. So we can get our hands dirty. So here I count with the full examples, which I don't anymore because I changed my approach to the strategy that solver is just the unit that shouldn't be tested by, how to say that, which shouldn't be tested like by end to end, but only as unit. Maybe I will change my attitude, or what's the word, my approach to this style later, but now I see it just like just a single unit that should be tested as unit, not as end-to-end with acceptance tests. Anything new on chat? Nope, nothing. So, solver test should now, I can now bring this test to solver, because this is not needed here anymore. I just wanted to make sure that everything works like from end to end. If I give it the whole input, it gives me correct result, so it's not needed here right now. All that is needed here are those 4 acceptance tests that should work every time. So, solver with empty input. Yeah, and this should give me I'm sorry for my non-organized approach or my rustiness, because it's been a year. I did something during the year, but not much. So the thing is, I'm using a text input parser that gives me that parses me the input that is then thrown to the solver. So now it splits the input into lines. So now I can write solver test like this. If I give it nothing, if I give it empty list, is it the approach or isn't it? I don't remember. So solver test gives me test input, so it's the parsed input, and the parsed input in this case is just empty list, right? So test1 empty input is 0 result. And that's correct. And the solver says on whatever input it should return 0. Okay, so the calculator test should still contain this. Why again small Python game? It's not going to be game, it's going to be Advent of Code implementation, adventofcode.com. if you want to code with me. Those are some nice little exercises for coding, to practice coding. And no game because there is no time. I don't have whole weekend to code the whole game, so I'm just solving those puzzles. So if I now go here and put a breakpoint here and run this, there should be empty array as input, right? Nope, I'm not on Ludum Dare now. It's just a coincidence that it's the same day, but not, no. Yeah, so it's empty list. That's cool. So it's solver test. And it gives 0. Again, if I do here -1, it should fail. Okay, cool. And now I return it back to 0 and see it pass. Cool. So now all the tests, everything passes, and commit first solver test with no input or with empty input, commit and push. And now let's get to the more important or more how to say that, more entertaining parts that I'm going to test that input with 1 gives 1 as result. So I'm going to put here +1 because that's the... Okay, see you, Lupata. Thank you for appearing here. So +1, if I give the program, the solver, +1, it should return 1. And now if I run the tests, it doesn't. So the simplest thing I need to do here is return 0 if input empty. Oh, so I can say len input is 0 else 1, and this should work. Yes. Commit and push. I didn't run the whole test suite, and it works. Okay, pooh. So next test. The smallest test that shows me that the program still doesn't do everything I want it to do. So I guess input with 2 gives 2 as result. 2 gives 2 as result. Run the test and it fails. Expected 2 and actual is 1. So now I need to parse it in some way. I can still say if length of the input is 0, then return 0, else return 1. Let's just redone this line, and it should be still the same. Nope, it's not. Yeah, colon. Okay, so still the same test fails. So now I just did some refactoring to make more space here. So if it's empty, then return 0, else return the first element of the input, and take the second character of it. So something like that. And that transform to int. Yes. Why not? So now let's refactor it a bit. So I'm going to say that or I can use PyCharm refactorings. So refactor extract variable, and it's going to be called second character and it works. So run the whole suite and let's see. Yes, everything passes. Commit and push. Parsing of 1 digit. So what is the simplest test that shows me that it doesn't work completely? Well, I can add more digits here, I guess. Let's say 1, 2, 3 should return 1, 2, 3. Multiple digits input. And if I run the solver tests, it should fail, because it gives me 1 and should be 1, 2, 3. So what about the solver? I guess I need just to do it like this, and it should work. Yes. So let's rename it to digits part. And it works. Now I can commit it as parsing of multiple digit number. Commit and push. What about here? Everything works flawlessly. Yes. One viewer. Cheers to one viewer. So Now I can parse any number that is with plus here. So now I should test like multiple numbers, I guess. So let's try 2 numbers sum. And let's say that 1 and 2 should give me 3. And this should fail. Yes? And this one test. So now I should get some result variable initiated to 0 and go through all of the numbers. For each number in input, digits part like this, and result plus equals this, and in the end return result. Yeah, and I should not do this but number, and this should work, I guess. Yes. And now when it's okay, come in and push multiple numbers in input. And now when it works, I can refactor it a bit. So those 2 lines can be refactored to method as parse number. Okay, so the plus part is not the best part. So I'm going to extract this even more, or I can just do it like this, because now it's more readable because it's shorter. So it's not digits part, it or whatever. I can just inline this, refactor inline, and that's it. It passes, and I guess I don't need this if statement here anymore. Yes, and still passes. Run all tests. And still everything passes. So I can call it refactoring. And now I can add some other test. So I guess I don't need, or I leave those tests here, but those two are not needed now, I guess, but whatever. So now I can add a negative number. Let's say minus 456 should be minus 456. And this should fail. Yup. Fails here. Actual plus 456 should be minus 456. So what can I do? I can just extract the sign, that is number 0, and then the number. Okay, so this is not going to be number, this is going to be value. And now number is this. And if sign, no parentheses, is minus, or like this, is minus, then number is minus number, result plus number, right? And it passes. So now I can extract this, or commit and push, negative values are properly parsed, and commit and push. And I can extract this as a method that would be called parse input value. Yeah, I know. I am a Java programmer as a daytime job. Yes, please. This may be static. That's right. Or I can make this function that would be right here. Now I can bit refactor this. This could be inlined. And this is cool. Okay, I need to go out for a bit, so stay tuned. I'm going to be right back. Great scene. So I'm back. Let's continue with our journey. Where was I? Yeah, so this is refactored right now, I believe properly, yes. So I can commit it as refactoring, commit and push. And now it should be everything we need. So I can put here some different numbers. For example, 1000 and minus 300, and it should be 700, and it should pass. Yes, cool. So it's positive and negative numbers in test. Commit and push. And now I should be able to remove those marks, and they should pass. Yup. So unskipping acceptance tests, commit and push. Here is everything fine, perfect. And now I should be able to run the main code, which is done here or here. Run main. This is my perfect GUI. Here I choose the 301 and calculate 516. So the result is 516. Submit. Yay! It works. So now I can put it here as 516. And now if I run the tests, it works. So now, okay, first part done. Yay! Commit and push. There should be always a time to celebrate those successes. So let's revisit the design. Now I can remove this test because it doesn't add any real value. What about those? Empty input. Returns 0. Input with 1 positive number is positive number. Input with +1 is returns 1. maybe the input is redundant here. +1 returns 1. This test is now redundant. This test what about those two tests? The first one seems redundant, so I can delete this test and say that positive number returns the given number, and now negative number returns the given number, and two numbers return their sum or multiple. So that's it, refactor tests. And what about this? This can go somewhere else. This doesn't have to be here. It can go to the parser. So if I go here and input the input text parser, I can take it, put it here, for example, and now I want to say input string split lines dot, can I call map in a list? Yeah, we can do this. So return, I can call it lines, and of course I should start the parser with this. So parsing empty string should return empty list. Parse empty string, empty input should return empty list. Yeah, now it's going to blow because I just didn't do this correctly. So I can just put back the return here, I guess. So everything works. I can take this back for a moment and just commit and push the parser. Yeah, but now it Yeah, it will work. Okay. So parser starting work on parser. Commit and push. Now parse one digit. So let's say plus 1, 2, 3 should return array of 1, 2, 3. Now I can take this, put it here, and say return list of parsed or parse input value for example x, and now how is it 4? For x in input string strictly lines. This should work. Yes. And it should work also. Just parse digits. So plus 1, 2, 3 and minus, okay, minus 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there should be new line between those. It should be 1, 2, 3 and minus 5, 6, 7. And it works. So now I should be able to redo the solver, because now to solver in input I get list of those numbers. So now I can just remove this and everything should be fine. And here I now expect it to be parsed. Right? So if I run the tests, I believe they should pass, but yes. So input text parser now takes the input string and returns parsed values. And in the solver, the only thing I do is to sum them. So now I can commit and push it. Parsing refactored to parser. As I said, it's a bit over-engineered, but I guess we're fine. And now I can do, is there some sum? Python sum list. Okay, so there should be some sum. So I want to return sum of input, I guess. Will it work? It will. So that's it. Now the solve function is only calling sum on input. So easy. Solver refactored to some call combine and push. Maybe I can extract this to variable. Can't I? Input lines is this in input lines. And everything works. Okay. Parse input line, maybe. Renaming combine and push. So now it's separated. The input parsing is separated from the action on the actual objects. Now let's look at the part 2. So the part 2, you notice that the device repeats the same frequency change list over and over. To calibrate the unit to find the first frequency reaches twice. Using the same list of changes above, the device would loop as follows. 0, 1, -1, 2, 3, 4, 2, which has been seen. In this example, the first frequency. First reaches 0 twice. What is the first frequency your device reaches twice? Okay, so we are going to traverse through it and save the values of frequencies. So let's create acceptance tests first. How many are there? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So test example 1. Test example 2, example 3, example 4. And it's going to be take calculator, calculate part 2, +1 -1 should return 0. +1 -1 should return 0. and no calculators, because I'm creating custom ones. This should return 10. This should return 5. And this should return 14. Is it? +7 + 7 is 14. -2 is 12. -7 is 5. -4 is 1. Where is the 14 for second time? There is no 14. Why is it 14? Is there anyone? 2 viewers. Why is this 14? Can you tell me? I can't see it. So replace with new line. Should be 14. Why should be 14? It doesn't reach 14 for 2 times. This one is -6. At this point, the device continues from the start of the list. What? Ah, so we should go through the list endlessly until we reach, right? Okay. Okay then. So if I go through this, test 2, 0 is visited. Okay, I should commit those tests first. It should pass. Yes. Acceptance tests for part 2. Okay, new to-dos, completely fine. Commit and push. The builds are all green still. It's fine. It's more than fine. 2 viewers. Cheers to 2 viewers. And now so test 2, 0 is visited twice. So I give it 1 and -1, and it should return 0. So now I can here just return 0. And that's it. Okay, let's see if it fails with -1. Yes, it does. So it's safe to assume that it's wired together correctly. So now I can commit and push. 0 is visited twice first. Commit and push. Now I can, it's hard to say what is the second case, second most easy case. I guess 1 1 minus 1 1 1 minus 1. And now with the 1 and -1, I should be also able to remove this check. Test example. Yeah, they should be example 1 1 1 2 1 3 1 4, and now 2 1 2 2 2 3 2 4, and that's it. So do not commit this solver test, or I can just revert it and bring it back with Ctrl+Z. Run all tests and it should be fine. Yes. So it's renamed acceptance test. This should should be still here. Pushing, and now I should be able to remove this, and it should still work. Perfect. 1 and -1 works. And I can also bring it back here. No, it's not the one. Okay, so okay, it was committed and it was not pushed, so I'm going to do push, and it should be fine. And now I can bring it back here. And remember that one is visited twice, and this should fail. One is visited. Yes. So, what is the simplest example? Can just go through the list. So visited, frequencies, like that, is set of 0. I can do it like dictionary, I guess. Set of 0. Current sum is 0. I don't know, is there some more simple example how to code it with less code and more intermediate steps? Let me know in the comments if you know some. So now I'm going to while true with capital T, because Python. Or not while true, but for number in input current sum plus equals number if current sum in visited frequencies return current sum, else visited frequencies, add current sum, and no return. And this should work. Yes. So all tests. Everything works. Perfect. Second, or number visited twice is found by one goes through of the list. One traversing of the list. Something like that. Commit and push. And what can be? Can we some acceptance test? 3, 10, -2, -4. No, there is nothing here. -6 + 3 + 8, it's +6. Nope, there is nothing here also. So no acceptance tests are solved now. Chvíľu. Now 2 traversing's are needed to find the result. So it's going to be one and -3. Well, let's put there 2. One, 2, and -5. So it's like -2 +1 is -1 +2 is 1. So 1 should be okay. It's already here. So I can put result in 1 traversing. I'm going to put 5 + 1 - 1 should be 5. And now this should work, of course. And now this should be 1. 1, 3, -2, -1, 1. And now if I run this, yeah, it just reaches the end of the method. So now I say while true this, and it should work. Yes. So it's like multiple traversing's push. Now let's see if we can remove some of those. I guess it's all of them. This should just work. Everything. Yup. So run tests. Where is it? Here. Okay, everything works. And it's going to be unskipping acceptance tests. Commit and push. This may be extracted into an object. But I have no time for this today, so I'm going to run the main. And let's see, 301, this number. Let's see. And that's it. So this number is the acceptance number from this. If I run this, it passes. So now this can be extracted into an object that just remembers the frequencies. I can leave it to a reader as an exercise. You can fork my repo from GitHub and do whatever you want with that. So have fun, you can refactor it. Actually, it could be refactored into the... Okay, let's do this. Result test uncommented. And now this whole helper classes can be removed because I don't use any of them. Delete anyway. Optimize imports. And then should be it. Helper class, yes, is here. And it's not used anywhere. It's here and not used anywhere. And that's it. Maybe I can remove this constructor also. Like that. Is it possible? Yep. So that's it, guys. Removed, not used helper classes. I can anytime revert this commit and get the helper classes there again. So that's it for today. Is the first... Oh, okay. Hello. First day of Advent of Code is done by using strict test-driven development. I know it was elaborate and I don't know, the over-engineered. I don't know the proper words for that. But I guess we came up with some elegant solution. As I said, this can be refactored into an object. It's nicely covered with tests, and it's nicely decoupled the parsing from the actual calculation. So I'm quite happy with this solution. I'm open for your opinions, so you can leave me a comment under this video or something, and looking forward to code something next time. See you!